what do you think it will be less of a headache? Having a cheaper price or having flexibility, opportunities, those extra solutions that a PSP can offer?
I think that that's the point, as any business always has to do, is they have to make some kind of calculations. What's the pros against the cons in regards to, if I diversify, then I take my, maybe let's say 100,000, I divert it into two. That's 50-50. Will it make this 50,000 maybe become 60,000? Because then paying us an extra whatever might actually be beneficial, because if this one hits the markets better, let's say you have France, Germany, that here is at 70%, you go here, it's 90. Then those two countries alone will grow. Focus on the ones that are already growing here. You can diversify your portfolio and you can make yourself less volatile for policy changes, volume dips, country. You can also face that you can be ghost banned.
Yeah.
So there's benefits to do this, and this is also in combinations to the other things that a PSP usually offers: fraud prevention, transaction monitoring, banking, and so on and so on and so on. Is that it helps to unify your payments into one and improve the overall performance if you have volume. It's harder when you don't have volume to diversify over acquires, because nobody's really interested in
Yeah,
that.
of course. I mean, in my merchant's portfolio here in the company, I have a merchant that he was processing like 600,000 every month, and he have 3 merchant accounts, and he divides 200, 200, 200. The processing, just in case if he loses one, he have 2 more as a backup.
Yeah,
But,
but that's more
diversification.
He diversified because
Yes.
of volatility to, termination.
it
It
happened
was
to
nothing
him.
else, because since it's the same country and it's in Europe and European acquires, they all hit more or less the sweet spot. It's more when you go outside of Europe and you go to certain countries. I see France. Like I told in a separate episode, is I had a CBD merchant in France and he was struggling. But he went somewhere else and his approval rates went high. We've seen it in Sweden with adult and dating
Oh my God.
and CBD.
Approval rates are
Pro-
shit.
Denmark. Like it's crazy. But
Yep.
you have to have that in mind when you process the things you do. I would say it's easier probably to find solutions if you're a European company to find acquirers inside of Europe to improve it. But if you're selling outside of Europe and your company is European, it's going to be hard to really find those solutions to improve and improve and improve and improve and improve, because you cannot affect it in the same way, because you have in Europe you have all these corporate collaborations internally and whatever. But once you go to, let's say, Iran, or you want to go to the Middle East, or you want to go to Asia, or you want to go to even North America, you don't have the same reach. And there, I would say always you need a local entity depending on your volumes.
So, PSP from Europe can get you a merchant account in the United States, for example.
If they have solutions or partners, yes.
Yes, because we do it.
But that's the point.
Fasto.
I would say that certain acquirers are trying
Fasto.co.
to work on that bridge between Europe and North America, maybe even Europe and Latin America. They are working to fix some bridges. I think it's I know an acquirer that has a European and UK, and then you also have it in Singapore, I think. So they can hit some of those countries too, to hit the to cross that bridge, that cross-border sales. And I saw that lately Shift4 bought a cross-border tool to also enhance that with
Yeah.
the currency converter. I think it was included in that. And I'm thinking that as we grow or as we move forward, this will be better and better. But I still don't think the acquirers will ever have that flexibility, because you don't like the idea of your volume getting devalued and then you sending it somewhere else. Even
Yeah.
though they don't see the large picture, is they could if they wanted to, acquirers could blow us out of the water, and we wouldn't be needed in some sense, because they could think,
I think it's
I
the
can still
future.
diversify it and make more. But the only thing they always see is, okay, you know what we could do? Give us another URL and we can give you another MID. Yeah, but that's not gonna. It's not bettering the process or the conversions. It's not gonna do anything because it's the same MCC code. It's gonna be the same product, unless you wanna play around with that. But then it's a different story.
We got it next. That's how you finesse. We come for they next.